Welcome to day 10 of turning a pile of MDF into merry and bright. Hi everyone, welcome to day 10 of the Claushaus Dollhouse project. I hope we're all doing really well. Thank you so much for sticking around and for your patience. I did not realise how long it's been since I last did a Claushaus video. Oh my gosh, it's yeah, time has just gotten away with me. Life has been crazy, let me tell you. Work, as for a lot of people, we are coming into our busiest season. So work has been absolutely insane. Real life reno work has been crazy, and then just general life, appointments, things going on, trying to get organised for Christmas. It's honestly, it's been crazy times, absolutely crazy times. And truthfully, normally when I'm doing these videos for you guys, I would spend like a solid few hours working on Claushaus on my days off, and then I might top up that progress with maybe an hour or two before work, and then an hour or two when I come home from work, just so that I've got a solid amount to show you. But with the change in seasons and the darker mornings and the darker evenings, I've really struggled with that adjustment, and I'm not able to work on Claushaus as much, particularly not filming, because the lighting is just not ideal for it. So a lot of the progress you're seeing in today's video has been done in sort of short spats and chunks of time, just because that's the best that I've been able to do. And it felt very bitty and batty to me. I was doing little bits and I didn't really feel as though I was making a huge amount of progress, at least not enough to be able to show you. But then when I realised the amount of time between my last videos, I thought, oh my gosh, I really need to show you guys what I've been working on. And it wasn't until I put these video clips together for this particular video that I realised that I have actually made quite a bit of progress, and I've got a bit that I can show you. So I am still here. I'm still very motivated to get Claushaus done, and I'm very conscious that Christmas is just around the corner. We can almost touch it. It's so close. So yeah, of course we had to start on Mrs Claus's kitchen. So I'm just using Rustin's walnut on a mahogany strip wood here for the worktop. So this brand of model paint I can highly recommend. I absolutely loved working with it. It's very thick, it's very gloopy and sticky, but it does get into all the little nooks and crannies, and it is an absolute dream to work with. You do have to work very quickly in order to avoid brush strokes and blobs and gloops, but other than that I was very pleased. I was just mindful to do lots of very thin coats, and I would highly recommend that. The Argo was actually much easier to paint, despite all of the little bits of detail in the hinges and the tag there, than the fridge was. The fridge, I kept getting sort of brush marks, particularly on the first couple of coats. I did sand both pieces down slightly, just to again give the paint a rougher surface to adhere to. That's the word I'm looking for. And then I was also, because again the paint's not very cheap, I didn't paint any areas that you're not going to see. So down the sides of the Argo, the back of the Argo, and the left hand side of the fridge and the base of the fridge, I just painted the bits that you're going to see. It also made it a lot easier for me to handle the pieces because I had something to hold on to. But yeah, highly recommend this paint. The fridge did require a few more coats than the Argo itself, just I think because the white was showing through, and also for the first couple of coats I was able to see the brush marks, but the paint has got excellent buildability, so I was just able to build on top of that and eventually hide them. I did go back over the Argo tag, the sign there. I painted over it just for ease. It wasn't very well painted initially when it came out of the factory, so I decided just to paint over it and go back over it myself. I did try to do this with a Sharpie, and I wasn't able to get into all the little tight spaces there, so then I went in with just some black acrylic paint. Out of everything that I've done on Claushaus so far, I think painting this Aga was easily my most favourite thing to date. I just found it so therapeutic. Given the price point of this item, and that it's resin and that it's mass produced, it's actually a very, very well made miniature, and I really enjoyed painting in the details again. Um, they do offer this one in red already, but it wasn't the correct shade of red, and I knew that I would be painting it again. And for whatever reason, the green one was on sale, so I just bought the green one. Now, you are about to see me make a bit of a mistake on this, and that's because I've never seen one of these Argas in real life before, not of this particular style, and I just wasn't paying close attention to my reference pictures. I knew I wanted it to be red. I assumed that all of the hinges and the smaller details were painted green initially. I don't know, just from maker's laziness, because the product was cheap, I don't know. Little did I know that they are actually meant to be the same colour as the rest of the front of the product. It's too late, I've done it now. And I do think it looks really good. I do think that it helps those little details just stand out a little bit more. These markers, by the way, if you didn't quite catch the brand, go back, screenshot it and add them to basket immediately. I first saw these on Queen City Miniatures, and she did mention in that video that she'd seen them from somebody else who'd recommended them to her, and I'm sorry, I haven't made a note of who that person is, but they are absolutely fantastic. They really, really are. I'm already looking for other ways that I can use them. So I'm using the silver marker here, and it was very easy to use. I've just gone over the Aga tag, the edges, I'm going over the handles, and then also go over the hot plate lids. I'm sure they've got a proper name, I'm sorry, I'm not up on Aga terminology. You'll see in just a second that they do give like a mirrored finish. Honestly, I'm obsessed. They are absolutely incredible. They just go on like a marker, and you can see the lines initially, but the lines disappear, they dry away very, very quickly, and then it gives you this perfect mirrored finish. I'm so excited I can't even get my words out. You're going to have to see it for yourself in just a second. Look at that. Wow. I mean, how beautiful. It just sets off all the detail. Very, very happy Shelby. I went over each piece with diamond glaze. I did only do one coat of this, and I did quite a thick coat, I'll be honest. I was able to leave the pieces to dry for some time, and I just got into all the little nooks and crannies there, all the details. I did the entire piece, and I did this for the fridge and freezer, and yeah, easily my favourite detail, my favourite part of the whole project so far. This Aga, it just really looks the business now. Yeah, Mrs Claus is going to be very, very impressed, I think. She's going to be delighted. So moving on from the kitchen, we're now heading up to work in the Snug. So if you're not familiar with the Claushaus Dollhouse, the first floor of this project is basically, it's a triangle shape, and the left and right hand sides of the triangle, where the roof space comes down and it's too narrow to fit any furniture or to really do anything with, I've decided to box these areas off. I'm putting a fireplace on one side, and you'll see that in just a moment, and on the left hand side I'm putting in some false walls to create a sort of an attic space in the eaves. You can see the doll's house from here, so I'm hoping that makes a bit more sense. So all I've done, very, very easy, I've cut my triangle out from the 5mm foam board. I've decorated it with my famous 1.5 by 5mm walnut strip wood, and there we have it. We have a wall. Gorgeous. I kept this clip in just because it absolutely made me, honestly, I was laughing at myself. What was I doing? So essentially what I'm trying to do here is work out the measurements for the fireplace area, and what am I doing? I've put this in purely for your entertainment. I don't know what I was trying to do. Yeah, you can see me thinking about it. This is only a short part of the clip. This clip went on for ages and ages and ages, but as you can see, we did get there in the end. So I'm building the fireplace out of 5mm foam board. I had so many reference photos on my Pinterest board for this, and honestly it came out looking nothing like them. With my inability to use a ruler that day, I don't know, I was just having a really bad time trying to figure out the dimensions of this fireplace and how to build it. I just threw caution to the wind and went with it. Just cut pieces, cut rectangles, cut squares, cut whatever I needed to do, and genuinely just hoped for the best. So a lot of this fireplace build I haven't recorded because I was just winging it as I went. But actually, and you're going to see this more in the next video because I am working on that this week, I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out so far. So far, we're doing okay. Is it perfect? No. Is it a work of art? Absolutely not. But it's a fireplace. It kind of looks like a fireplace, and that's enough for me at this point. So yeah, 5mm foam board, bit of hot glue, we were good to go. I then decided to cover the whole piece with paper mache. This was to give the structure some more strength and stability. I am going to be handling it a lot for the decorating phase. And it also helped to smooth out any joins, any rough edges from the foam board and the cardboard. I did this method with the Cooking Up a Storm fireplace and it worked an absolute dream. So earlier in this video I mentioned that I didn't feel as though I'd made enough progress to be able to put a video together for you guys, and it was at this moment in time that I was waiting on a lot of things drying so that I could move on to the next stage of the project, aka the fireplace. I did have some spare time on my hands and I wanted to do something that would progress Claus' house even that little bit, so I decided to work on this desk that will be going in the Snug upstairs. Now, for the sake of science, I did try to add colour to the desk using the rusting walnut stain and also the teak oil, knowing full well that they wouldn't work. Now, is it me? If you could drop me a comment below and just let me know, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Why doesn't whitewood doll's house furniture seem to accept stain or dyes, you know, and really bring out the colour, the dark colour that it shows on the bottle? Am I doing something wrong? Am I just impatient? Does it need 10,000 coats? I don't know. But you can see me here reverting to my tried and trusted, my absolute favourite method of adding any sort of colour to any kind of wood. A bit of acrylic paint. Rub it on, rub it off. Stunning. Now, I am actually planning on filling these desk drawers, and I could do with some ideas. This is going, as I said, it is going in the den, so it's going upstairs. I imagine this to be sort of Santa's little space. So if you've got any ideas of what I could put in these drawers, drop me a message below. I could really use some inspiration. So this is my little box of knickknacks that I've been collecting for the Claus House project. These handles I initially bought for the kitchen, but for whatever reason I'm really struggling with the handles for the kitchen at the moment, folks. I don't know what it is, but I just didn't like these for the kitchen. But it turned out to be a happy accident because look how beautiful they are on this desk. I am short of two. I've added them to the shopping list. But look at this. How gorgeous. That's all I have time for today, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for day 10 of the Claus House project. How beautiful does Mrs Claus's kitchen look now that she has an Aga, fridge and worktops. And yes, she has lights too. I'm saving that little nugget of progress for next week's video. Stay tuned for lighting and fireplace progress next week. See you guys then. Bye!